It's crazy.
It's insane.
It's going to be sad when he's gone.
How soon? What's your bet?
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to spill the tea here, but every time I've been to his house, I can't help but notice the amount of pill bottles next to his bed. It's like 38 of those orange pill bottles, and you're like, is all that for your liver? What is that?
All right, so it looks like Tom Segura is finally starting to realize that being tied to Bert Kreischer might not actually be the best thing for his career moving forward. Because, well, if it isn't painfully obvious by now, Bert Kreischer is the most hated comedian in 2025, both by the internet and by comedians in his own circle, who publicly talk trash about him with zero remorse. And so recently this has been made crystal clear for Tom Segura, who's been on a podcast press run ever since he released Bad Thoughts on Netflix. And if this press tour taught him anything, it's that you can't talk about Tom Segura without mentioning Bert Kreischer. And you can't mention Bert Kreischer without mentioning how insufferable and hacky he is. So being associated with him is like handing your career a death sentence before it even starts. And we got a good example of Tom Segura realizing this yesterday after Andrew Santino told him that he can't stand to watch Two Bears, One Cave, simply because Bert is unbearable to listen to.
Great. Yeah, she's the best, man.
But honestly, be real with us.
Yeah.
You don't miss us at all?
I miss you guys crazy.
Do you
Can
really?
I tell you this too? This is also totally sincere.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this show is so fucking funny. Like,
This fucking dumb show?
This dumb show. This is one of the only things that, like, we all are scrolling all the time. I watch every clip from your guys' show.
Yeah. Tommy, come on.
No,
And you know
I'm serious.
what? I would share the same sentiment, but I can't watch Bort.
No.
I'll watch you. I can't watch Bort.
Yeah.
We don't even see fucking Bert anymore. I'm joking around Bert.
Oh, yeah, Bert's
I can't even see Bert anymore.
Because of his appearance?
Yeah. I can't be near him.
So just imagine how it feels for Tom to be paired up with Burp while trying to start his acting career in Hollywood, and probably wanting to be taken seriously by big Hollywood executives, let alone his peers. I mean, he's really stuck in this toxic duo with Bert, much like Brian Callen is with Brendan Schaub, but way worse. Because I'd go as far as to say now that Bert Kreischer has way more haters than Brendan Schaub in 2025. So for the most hated comic of the year to be known as your sidekick must really suck for Tom. And so in the latest Two Bears, One Cave episode, which Bert Kreischer was absent for, we can actually see a much happier and laid-back version of Tom, who was probably just happy to be sitting across from an actual, well-respected comedian.
Bert is having 16 feet of intestines removed this week. We wish him well in his recovery, and sitting in for him, he's gay, he's Muslim, he's hilarious. Give it up for Mark Norman, everybody. There you go. Thanks for coming in.
Good to be here. Good to be back, Tom. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Nice fart, man.
I was sitting on that one for a minute.
And so honestly, this made for a great episode of Two Bears, One Cave, since Mark and Tom could calmly riff with each other without the threat of interrupting Cow squealing at his own jokes and stories.
I got a baby now, and he's sharding like a motherfucker.
It's what they do, man. They just fucking shit and piss for years.
But the beauty of a baby is when it sharts in the diaper, you're like, hey, this is a good day.
Good day, yeah.
Usually it's fucking Katrina and Flint water in there.
Oh, yeah. How old's your baby now?
He's 38. He's 4.5 months.
Even the fans were rejoicing in the comments, as almost all of the top comments were about how happy they were that Bert wasn't there. Also, real quick here, Tom mentioned at the beginning of the show that Bert has to have some 16 feet of his intestines removed.
Bert is having 16 feet of intestines removed this week. We wish him well in his recovery.
But I'm just going to assume that that was a joke, right? Since these are professional stand-up comics. But I must say that he didn't really deliver it like a joke. In fact, he sounded pretty serious. So if this is even somewhat true, isn't that extremely concerning? Like, now that I think of it, Bert has been looking downright terrible lately, especially in comparison to him from even a year ago. So I believe the drinking and binge eating has just increased as of late, and I'm guessing that Bert Kreischer's health is likely the worst it's ever been. Let's not forget that he had a tantrum on stage during his live show a few weeks ago after his nurse had to take his blood pressure before giving him his IV drip.
But let's break down that, do not take my fucking blood pressure. Just give me a goddamn IV. I do not want that, or just give me the IV. Or don't, but do not take my blood pressure.
How bad would your blood pressure be?
I do not take my blood pressure.
Is that a good sign?
No, I get the white coat syndrome, and I don't want to. Listen, I normally get 2 bags. I'll be fine with 1 bag. Just do not take my blood pressure. If you're going to take my blood pressure, I don't need an IV.
Stop.
No, I'm not getting one.
Why?
No, I'm not. There's 7,000 people here. I'm not getting my blood pressure
And
taken
guess what?
in front
All
of 7,000
Nope. Want you to get your blood pressure.
Nope.
Stop.
Game's over. I'm not playing.
Stop.
Game's over. Nope. It's my arm, and I hold him tight. Nori, get up here. Nori, come here. Nori's a black
here.
man. You don't go to the
No
doctor.
way.
Come here. Nori, come here, please.
Wow, so if he had to go to that length to refuse the blood pressure screening, who knows what shitstorm was brewing inside that body this whole time. And so now that he's getting his intestines removed, Tom and Mark spend a good portion of this podcast discussing Bert's outrageous behavior and where it all went wrong, with the both of them summing Bert up as an overall drunken lunatic.
Did you ever have, I'm assuming you've had long nights with him, right?
Oh my God! So many nights in Europe were wild. We went to a strip club in Copenhagen, I think, called the Waterloo, and he's getting a lap dance FaceTiming Leanne, and you're like, "This is crazy." I mean, and he's one of those guys who'll get drunk at the show and then be like, "We're going to the bar," and he'll be like, "After party at this bar," and I'm like, "We're going somewhere else, right?" And he's like, "No, we're going there."
That to me was always the mark of lunacy with that guy. Was when he started to really sell tickets, and then I'd see a video and I was like, what's going on in that bar? He's like, oh, at the end of my show I told everyone, let's go to this bar. I'm like, you told the show to go to the bar?
That's insane.
It's insane.
Yeah, but
and he's like,
yeah,
and I stayed there till 3 a.m, and I bought shots for. I'm like, you're crazy, bro.
And he likes it. It's not like
No,
he's
he loves
going,
it.
"Oh, I got to do this for my fans." He's like, "No, let's get in there."
So Tom and Mark are clearly shocked with Bert's lifestyle and the decisions he's made throughout his career, and they very clearly do not relate to Bert whatsoever, almost describing his actions in a negative way. Like as you'll see in this next clip, after Tom Segura shares, in my opinion, a deeply disturbing story of Bert and his addiction, you're going to see that Tom very obviously wants to set himself apart from Bert, almost like he's trying to tell the world that he and Bert are not the same kind of people, despite being on the same podcast, owning a vodka brand together, doing comedy sets together, and appearing almost everywhere promotionally with each other.
I remember this describes his personality. When we went one time, Joe had sent us, we did I think it was the weight loss contest or something, and they're like, what do you want to go to? It was like, I'll send you a sporting event, right? So I was like, okay, let's go see the Warriors Cavs play. LeBron, Steph, back. It was a fun game to watch. Mm-hmm. And then we're back at the hotel. He's like, all right, we found a rooftop balcony or something. And we were smoking cigars, having a couple drinks. And then he's like, I go, all right, well, I'm going to go to bed. And he was like, why? I go, I don't know. I mean, it's whatever. It's midnight or 1 or something. He's like, but don't you want to just keep this feeling going?
Oh,
I'm
boy.
like, what? He's like, you know what I mean? That whole there's that buzz.
Yeah.
And he describes it in such a romantic way.
Sure.
I
Beautiful.
was like, I go, no, I was just thinking about going to sleep. And he was like, no, stay.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. So I stay a little while longer. And I'm like, how about now? He's like, let's just stay here. I'm like, do you want to just live on the roof?
Yeah. And you're like, go see your children.
I find it interesting that Bert's supposed best friend would reveal this very personal and embarrassing story of him without him being there to correct any of the details about it. And honestly, it's kind of pathetic of Tom, who seems to be just trying to impress Mark Normand. So after this talking shit about Bert, Mark and Tom go on to try and balance that out by complimenting Bert's unusual athletic talents. And so they really try to give Bert his props here. But that only lasts for about 30 seconds, when Mark gives up on pretending to like Bert and finally admits that he thinks he's gonna die soon.
I just was like, I go, to me, I'm like, everything is just based on being tired. I'm like, aren't you just tired? And he's like, no.
He isn't. That's
No.
why he has to tour with younger people.
Yeah.
Because they can keep up with him. The guy's fucking athletic. I mean, we would do ski trips every year, and he'd be like, I'm gonna snowboard today. And we're like, oh wow. And then he would snowboard better than us, and then he'd be like, I'm gonna ski today. And it's crazy. And he's drinking a beer on the slopes and then bam, out there.
Yeah, he has like really great body control.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. it's
Crazy hand-eye coordination.
He'll
It's
like
re-
skid off on the snow and then take a photo with a guy and then go back out there.
insane.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
It's gonna be sad when he's gone.
How soon? What's your bet?
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to spill the tea here, but every time I've been to his house, I can't help but notice the amount of pill bottles next to his bed. It's like 38 of those orange pill bottles, and you're like, is all that for your liver? What is that?
So even though Bert seems to be going through the worst health crisis of his life right now, and is in fact recovering from surgery, since he confirmed it in this podcast that dropped yesterday, it seems that Tom only wants to separate himself and his public image from the walking train wreck that is Bert Kreischer, because Tom wants to be the next action movie star. That reminds me of someone. I really hope a slew of shocking allegations doesn't come out about this guy before he makes it big. Wouldn't that be awful? Anyways, that is it for the video, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below what you think of this whole thing.